Solutions Review asked industry experts at Boomi World 19 about avoiding pitfalls with iPaaS software. Here's a compilation of their answers and advice.
First and foremost, start small. Think big, but start relatively small. So start with winnable projects that can really ensure that you're going to be successful in a short period of time.
No matter how good your partner is and how many knowledge transfer sessions you do after the fact, the reality is they're going to walk out the door when the contract is up and they've delivered their product, and you have to still run this very robust, very powerful, but very complex system. You really need to, from the beginning, staff your team for the end result.
For that transfer of knowledge and responsibility.
I think you definitely need to have the right training and services out of the gate. I mean, we really do a good job of saying Boomi is easy to use, and we do make integration easy, but that being said, you definitely need either a good partner in there with you, or you need Boomi professional services with you, or both.
If you are a new customer, you don't know about Boomi or MuleSoft, you are just evaluating, starting from there, right? If you are evaluating an iPaaS, you must evaluate based on if this is a whatever platform you are getting. Is it a multi-tenant or not? What about your data security? Your data is secured or not? Then what is the product roadmap? Those things you have to consider.
Think long term. Don't put band-aid solutions. Think, what does your company actually need? Focus your resources on what makes you unique, and find a vendor to partner with so that you're not rebuilding the wheel.
In Boomi, the ease of use and the ease of build and ease of deployment is like you can do it in 1 week, in 2 hours in some cases. So you got to have the right architecture in place. Take your time. Make sure you get your arses right, in front of the cart first, and then you can draw any amount of weight you want to.
I think the biggest misnomer that's there in the market is if it is simple and easy to use, it cannot do the complex things. And the reality is simple and easy to use is a given. It's sometimes taken for granted. When you don't have it, that's when people realize that actually that simplicity was what got me attracted to that solution.
The first and foremost is having a good relationship with your Dell Boomi personnel when it comes to consulting and your salespeople, and actually leverage their skills because they know the product.
But we always focus on time to value first and then solve the long tail later, right? You want to bring in ROI to your business, and that's something that people should think of, first when they're engaging in a new project.
As much as anyone tells you that they're 99.9 and they're 24/7, there will be times when systems will not be responsive, and it may just be your data load that you're sending. You may not be scaling it right. We did have problems with performance. That was just the way we had set things up, and both Boomi and NetSuite helped us clear that up. But the point is, if you don't have time to stop and do it, you really don't have time not to stop. You need to document what your infrastructure is. You have to figure out where the points of pain are and work your way through that.
I always have this analogy to running a marathon. So you never win in the first mile. You have to have the patience to not run fast. But I think a lot of companies, when they get to a point where they really want to start transformation, they're already kind of late. So they want to run hard. So I think at that point it becomes very, very strategic to kind of have the patience to say, let me start by first walking before I run.
Not looking at the time to value aspect is one of the key pitfalls that a lot of enterprises just go with the best of breed as it's marketed, but then only to realize that they've actually gone down a rat hole that it's very difficult to come out of.
The way in which people are deploying in cloud, I think, is still somewhat, there's still some barriers from a security point of view that certain enterprise customers are doing things they shouldn't be doing because of these barriers to cloud from a security point of view. The capabilities are there, I guess is the point, and it just depends on where you are in your mindset in terms of how much you want to trust it.
CIOs understand the implication of the technology. They have to become somebody who is actively involved in helping the business rethink its business models to take advantage of technology and win against competitors.
The P for iPaaS stands for platform, right? So that's very critical. And the S for iPaaS stands for service. So the problem with iPaaS space in general is there are a lot of vendors who call themselves iPaaS, but they either don't have the platform or are not a service. So that is one caution that I would definitely give to my customer base, is that whenever you are evaluating from a prospect perspective, is to always think about iPaaS and not to forget the P and the S.